You are listening to the Creative Talks podcast, presented by the Architectural Authority magazine.
I always, when I go to competitions, I ask the favor from the organizers of the competition to send me the comments that
good
the
or
judge
bad?
is good. Good
You
or bad?
wanna know.
Bad the best. To me, the bad are the ones that I always ask because we're always learning something.
This episode is sponsored by our partners at Sitco USA, with the largest selection of marble in all South Florida. Visit Sitco's showroom at Doral and enjoy their extraordinary design collections, including iconic works by renowned artists such as Zaha Hadid, Anish Kapoor, Ferruccio Laviani, Ora Ito, and many more. The Creative Talks podcast is here to help you succeed in the world of architecture and interior design. It shares authentic, personal stories about the highs and lows of running the business. Tune in for real-life experiences and gain actionable steps to achieve your own goals. Your host, Cindy, is ready. Thank you for joining us, and let's get started.
Welcome to Creative Talks, presented by the Architectural Authority magazine. Today, we're thrilled to have Sandra Diaz-Velasco, a trailblazing figure in architecture and interior design, with licenses in both fields in Florida and a prestigious roster of certifications. Sandra is the driving force behind Iolo Design, her award-winning firm based in Miami. Since 2008, Sandra has been transforming high-end residential, commercial, and hospitality spaces across the U.S. and Latin America. Her exceptional work has earned numerous awards, including multiple AIA Miami Merit Awards and a string of ASID Design Excellence Awards. Sandra's designs have graced the pages of top publications like Architectural Digest and Luxe magazine. A recognized leader in this industry, she's also been named to Luxe magazine's gold list and honored by the NKBA. As an ASID Wants-to-Watch scholar and top 50 innovator by Kitchen and Bath Design News, Sandra is a prominent speaker and judge, solidifying her role as a key influencer in South Florida's design community. Join us today as we dive into her journey and insights into the world of design. Welcome, Sandra. Thank you for coming to the podcast.
Thank you for having me here. Wow. Long
Yeah,
list.
that was so important.
Thank you
Tell
so
me
much
about
for all
those
that.
awards. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much.
It must feel great.
Well, humble and thankful, and it's a kind of, at the same time, it's a very, it's big, but at the same time is a lot of work and a lot of feeling responsibility for, keeping being of service to the community and to
Yeah, you
our
are very
clients.
active. You are one of my kind.
I see. We've been talking about it, and
yeah.
I've been loving it.
Yes.
I've been loving it.
So tell me how you started in this world. We want to know everything from the beginning, how that turned into an award-winning firm.
Oh my God, do we have time?
Yeah, we have 45 minutes. Let's try.
Well, since I was a child, I love to see how could I improve my surroundings? How could I make them more beautiful? And I learned that from my grandfather. He was carpenter, and he had a small shop back in our country. I'm originally from Colombia, and I used to love being with him in the shop. And I would look at how he would carve the pieces. He would be
Very detailed work.
Very detailed. He would spend hours and hours trying
Everything manual, not the
at the time,
we have
exactly.
now.
Everything was a serrucho that we called in
Craftsmanship,
Spanish.
pure craftsmanship.
Yeah, exactly. So attention to detail and all that. So I would love how to see how he converted those raw pieces that you wouldn't think that how beautiful could they come to be, and he made it beautiful, furniture. So that kind of, made me realize that I like that a lot, and I like that kind of the nemesis or the magic of the transformation from something. So
were you involved in him turning in the pieces?
Not
Like
at
seeing the
all. He
client
wouldn't let
happy?
me.
No.
No, because I was so small.
You
I
were
was
backstage. You were backstage.
Yeah, I was.
in the
I was
atelier.
really 4 years. 4 years, a 3-year girl, and
But he was
5
an
years.
influence, definitely.
Yeah, but I saw that, and I wouldn't spend time at the house. It was the shop was. It was these old big houses, like the front of the house would be like the habitable space, and then to the back, and it would be the shop, and would be the whole time with him.
This is so crazy. I have my own story with my
really?
grandpa
You
that I
have
will
to-
tell you after
Oh
the
my
show.
God, really?
Yeah.
So even our names are similar. How
Yeah,
cool is
Cindy,
that?
Sandra.
Cindy and Sandra.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's how I would love to spend my afternoons. And later on, my uncle, his son, went on to become an architect.
Okay.
And he would be doing, every time he be in our capital city, and then he would, on vacation time or on breaks. So he would bring these huge maquetas. That's how we call it, the models.
Yeah.
And I would love to see how, and ask him. But I was really young, and somehow that
When you were
developed in
ready
me.
to go to the university, you picked
I picked architecture.
architecture.
I picked architecture. I was admitted. It was, like a public school.
I picked architecture because in my country, interior design wasn't that strong.
Well, that's true too.
That's what I wanted. I knew I felt like I
But
wanted.
back in our country,
but-
they didn't even know the term, the
Uh-huh,
meaning
exactly.
of it even. Like, what's
Or-
that?
Yes.
Yeah, you know
it
what?
was like a fashion designer. I don't know. It was a
Yeah,
different
or,
category.
Or they would do how do you call publicity or publicity,
Uh-huh.
right? That was
Yeah.
like another, but it was like
Yeah.
not
So
related
for
to
my
the construction.
family, architecture was acceptable. So I took it. Yeah.
Well, in my country, interior design there was no school for interior design.
Exactly. At that time, there wasn't. So continue. You went into architecture.
Yeah, but I loved architecture.
Yes.
I loved
I
it.
think it was important for my career as an
Uh-huh.
interior designer
Yeah.
to have the architectural background.
Yes.
So important for the planning, for everything that we
Totally
do.
agree. This gives you a different perspective to the craft and a different foundation, a stronger foundation for your formulations and concepts and design. So, of course.
Yeah.
But I love architecture. Life has brought us more towards this
Design
finishing
world.
part of it. But I love, I admire an American architect so much, Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yeah, me too.
He didn't think of a division between the crafts. He
Yes.
thought that
Yes.
you as a human being need to be able to experience the built environment from the very general to the very particular.
Totally.
Because
I
they
went to the
move
Falling
on.
Water House, and he did the furniture. He did
Everything.
the inside and the outside
Everything.
communicates. So he was a complete architectural interior designer.
It-
I don't know.
To me, that's kind of that's how it should
That's
be.
what you do.
Because there needs to be a thread communicating and making everything have resonance with each other. The inside,
He was
with
involved
the
with the textures. He was
everything.
involved with everything.
Because
yeah.
that's the
lighting
human
and everything.
experience.
Yes.
You need to be able to experience architecture and design in every single scale and perspective. That's what we are designed for, our
Right.
human, existence. So I love the architecture. I love urbanism. I really love urbanism. And that connection of the human experience, that is like the El Camino, or like the path that we are designed to walk and navigate. So so that's how I went into study architecture. It was a
Colombia?
public school. Yeah, in Colombia,
Colombia.
a public school that everyone was competing to get into because it was very difficult to
Wow.
get in. So I was fortunate enough to do it.
Okay.
But also my family was not that much of, money-wise, so well accommodated. We were middle,
Okay. So you
we
had
did
to work
well.
while you were in, or you got a scholarship.
At the end of the day, I began with a scholarship. I had some. And at the end, I began working. Towards the last 2 years. I had to go work, and that's how, I finished school. And but I love my...
And you worked in the field or
yes,
somewhere
I
else?
was able to
So
work
you
in
were
the field.
practicing at the same
Yes,
time.
I was able. Yeah, not my teammates, my classmates didn't, but life is life. I had to do it. So yeah, I was lucky enough to
That's
have
great.
that.
It's
I consider
it's
I was
beneficial. Yeah,
completely because it gave me
Definitely.
another perspective. And I began doing that. Then graduated and spent some years in Colombia, back in my country, working in architecture in the field. And
How
back
was your
in
studio called back then?
no, it was I
was
was
you.
working for a big corporation.
Okay.
If
So-
I can say hi to my old people in
Of
Colombia,
course.
I always keep you in my heart. You gave me a lot. That's how I began working for a big corporation.
Mm-hmm.
I would travel all the country, designing the whole, like their offices and the corporative image, like the branding and everything
So
for
you were
the
a
offices.
little bit in commercial as well.
It was sort of
More.
a commercial, more of a commercial work. And that was it. We were able to be doing the first intelligent building in the country. And I
Great.
was so lucky to have been working on that one, doing design and architecture. It was an amazing experience. And life brought my husband and I here when our political situation in our country got kind
Right.
of really worse. So we said, we had a little studio. We were working. At the time, 2 years. We
Your
were 2
husband
years
is also in the
He's
field.
an architect as well.
Ah,
He
perfect.
studied at the same.
You were studying
school.
together?
No,
No.
he was beyond. Like a little more advanced than I was. But he's also an architect.
So you met in
We
school.
met each other outside
Okay.
school in a job. So we met in different sides of the table. So, and then we teamed up and worked. We had our own studio for about 2 years, and everything was going amazing, really well. But the political situation
You had to move.
made us leave. So we had to leave everything behind. It was beginning from zero again. So we had to
And
emigrate here.
even construction is different from Colombia.
Completely different. It's
Yes.
another world.
So you had to learn again.
Completely.
A little.
Yeah, if we very, very soon, into our, living here in the States, we learned that we needed to forget. We really needed to forget if we wanted
And
to
restart.
connect. If we wanted to connect, we had to forget who we were. And it was a very tough call. It was a very tough decision, but we were a team, and I think that
And
was
you
the
had
only
each other,
way.
so
And we
to
had each
support.
other. Otherwise, I'm not sure if we will be talking today here about this exciting journey. I
So
don't
your
know.
husband is part of YOLO team?
No. He, at heart.
Yes.
No, he...
Oh, that's also... It's better for the relationship,
Yes,
no?
all right. Yes, yes.
I worked with my husband for a
Yeah.
while. We got along very good, but it's safe to have each other's
Well, we share
space.
offices. We share offices.
Okay.
And we see each other all day. Well, we're all the time out,
Yes.
a really good amount of time out. So maybe that helps. But we share offices and he has his own company for construction. He likes more that part.
The
I
construction
like
part.
more the architecture and interior side of.
The
So,
planning and...
I love that. I love
yeah.
the planning. I love that type.
So in
work.
2008, you start your own company.
Yeah, imagine the time.
How was that?
Oh my God! Really, imagine 2008.
Yeah,
was
2008 was like
Yes,
a little
when we
bumpy
began.
here. Yeah.
Bumpy. I would say
was
like it would
like
be
the pandemic, but in 2008.
I think it could be even bigger. I could say it was even bigger than that because 2008 was a crazy time.
Did you have the courage to start your
I
own
don't
company?
know how and it was funny because at the time I was able. Well, the years when we began here, it was very tough. We were talking before,
Right. Yes.
the
That we did
tapings.
anything we had
We
to
did
do.
everything we had to do to survive and to keep bringing food to the table.
Yes.
Very honest work. But it was not easy. It was not easy to come to where we were. After some years, I was also going through the commercial side of the business. I was not in the architecture field per se. but I was in the commercial side of the business, so I had to learn a lot about sales and stuff like that, until I was able to get a really great opportunity working in two very important studios for architecture here. But that was like 3 years after we arrived in that meant the world. I was able to do and learn again the whole craft.
Of course.
Again, because, and I say again because you have to. If you want to kind of connect into the culture and connect into the lifestyles here in the U.S.,
you have to forget, like you said.
We have to.
That was a great strategy. Because then you absorb everything again.
And it's you're making me remember about an article that a great, journalist did about us, and he titled that article, "The Art of Letting Go." And it's because I was talking all the time about it. She's like, you have to learn and master the art of letting go. It didn't
you didn't realize that you were doing that.
It was the art of letting go. And I try to every day, try to be mindful about that, because we're always letting go. And then if we kind of have this, ¿cómo se dice en inglés? Like apegos, like holding two things. If we hold too much, we don't let,
the universe has to do. The universe has to do. We cannot open
our hand to receive.
Right.
So not easy to learn.
Yes.
It's a daily, the daily learning habit. But yeah, so that's how I began working in these studios.
And when the studio started, it was just you, or you had a team?
It was only me.
It was you.
It was only me. Our first clients were my old bosses.
Okay.
It was crazy. I was not even thinking of beginning the studio. I didn't want to. I was like, oh my God, I'm very comfortable. It was perfect. I had everything I wanted.
You were in a comfort zone.
It was amazing. I was able to, get to the point where I was doing everything again that I loved. I was at the time,
you were
like
in
the
the field
bridge.
of that you like.
I was on the field.
Mm-hmm.
I was the bridge between my boss, who was an architect, and my other boss, his wife, who was the interior designer. So I was doing the job I wanted to do.
Worlds.
I was doing everything that I love to do, architecture and interiors connected. What else could I do?
Why would I look outside?
Right?
Exactly.
So yeah, that, I am sorry. That was, I don't know, it came from, I don't even know where it came from. Yeah, I don't even know. But I wanted to get my license. I wanted to get my license as an architect. That was kind of, I needed to do that.
So you needed to open a company or...
No, you don't. You don't need to do that. But I don't know, life took us that way. And I was able to get my license back for architecture and interiors.
You have to study again here.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a long kind of path. But I was fortunate to have a husband that understood.
And you stayed with architecture in the second round, or you did interior design in the U.S.?
No, I'm doing both.
You did both. Because when I did the same, I had to transfer my studies. I selected interior design this time. This other time.
Great.
But most of the credits were valid. Some of them.
Yes,
and then I had to do the rest.
I had to remember. The hardest part was the hours, the practicing hours,
right.
And the experience, that type of thing.
But the work that you were doing for the architect and the
helped
designer,
me a lot.
Those are hours that you can account for.
That helped me a lot, and my bosses are the best. They were the best. We love each other, and that was amazing. And but things happened naturally because I don't remember now well, but they became our first clients. And that was perfect.
I was going to ask you that question.
It was perfect.
What was your first project? Tell us if you remember. It was them.
It was them.
So
it was fun. Now I kind of remembering.
You already knew their style, what they needed.
Yeah, it was an easy feat.
So tell me about the name, Iolo. What does it stand for?
Well, Iolo is the Greek and or Roman god of the winds. And I really resonate with the elements. And winds are, to me, like the movement, like the emotion of innovations, the nature, the relationship to nature, and how
Of course.
when it's never static, it's always in movement. It brings out many things in strong at the same time, but no one sees it. So the power to me of architecture is that strength that
Very
no one
nice.
sees it, but it's there. So, and relating to nature is how we kind of holistically approach our designs. And it gives our emotions as well, no? Be connected to nature.
And you picked that name?
Oof, long time ago when we were studying which name to give a YOLO. We had a lot of the names. But I love mythology. And I think how, mythology is how we connect to the trip of the hero. We are the heroes. And through mythology, we find our destiny and our purpose. So
Great.
Yeah.
Good to know. That's a nice story. Then I have to ask you the second client.
all right. And the second client, oh my God,
Your
that was
first
not easy.
challenge.
Of course, it was not easy because when I left the company, I didn't want to contact, any of our old clients because, no, just not ethic on that. And I was like in a cocoon. I didn't want to go out. I didn't connect to the community, to no one.
You
I
thought
didn't
you
know
didn't
anyone.
need it.
Exactly, I didn't, and I really didn't
You
at the
didn't
time.
need it.
But when I was out, I was like, oh my God, okay.
Yeah, the world is
Now,
amazing.
where are my
Yeah.
relationships? Yes. I didn't study here, so no one knew me, really. And it was a tough, work, second project to get. It was a very small project. Nobody would take it. And first, it was the only project because 2008, there was no work.
The economy was bad.
Nothing. And this was, that person lived, the family lived in our community. So it was like a work out of necessity from this client. And that's how our second project came. Nothing compared to the huge $1 million work that I used to do. I used to work, or we used to work in 14,000 square feet mansions in the most spectacular places here in Florida. We will do work in Colorado, like in
That's
amazing,
the great school that you had.
amazing work. And I was doing it was like a 1,200 square feet apartment, two bedrooms apartment.
But it was yours.
It
You felt like
was
a
so
baby.
funny, but it was not easy. It was not easy because I was used to work with huge amount of budgets. It was another thing. And then the builders and contractors that I will be bossing around will not be my husband. So
Again,
he did the work.
again, life asks you to learn again.
Crazy.
Yes.
We have to let go.
Let go again.
Let go again. So we began, taking on these small things to build our portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
We
And
didn't
then one client
make-
takes to the other. That's
to the
how it
other,
happens.
little by little, word of mouth. We had a little bit of savings, and that helped a bit for a while, but not easy. Situation was tough, but we managed to keep it busy during those times. And we began building our portfolio little by little.
Was there a
and-
time that you thought, okay, let me go back to a company, or you were feeling free and you loved that
I
feeling?
was feeling so free.
Because that happened to me.
Oh,
I was feeling so free that I didn't want to go back to
I
any...
didn't go.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go. And they're so amazing human beings that they were telling me, whenever you feel you want to come back, come back.
Yes.
Whenever you want to it. I was, I always so humble, in receiving this. And, but no,
when
I
your
didn't.
soul is
I
like
didn't
that,
want
like a free spirit, you can't go back.
No,
You
no,
can't
you
go
can't.
back.
And
Once you touch that liberty to do anything on your own terms and your own ideas and put...
yes, and you know what? I at the time, well, I don't know if I've changed a bit in that part, but I was a workaholic at the time, and
I think
my
we-
bosses
we-
didn't used to see workaholism as a skill, and we were all the time fighting because I was doing the job of many people, and I liked it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I felt comfortable.
Totally.
But that would demand most of my time. And, when you're doing what you like, time passes and you don't
Yes,
even notice the
exactly.
time passes. So I didn't even pay attention to the clock. I was on my own world doing stuff. And they were used to come to say, hey, Sandra, it's 7:30 p.m. We have to go home. And at one point, they, you know what, take the keys and stay if you want to stay. Or other times, after some years, they say, you know what, no, go have rest, go home. And it's not that I didn't have a lovely husband waiting for me. But
I can relate.
I don't know.
Totally. My hours go by and I can be at until 11 p.m. But we do need to rest.
We do.
We do need to rest.
No, we get the bill.
Yeah.
Later in life, we get the bill.
Now I try to disconnect every Friday and be with the family.
And look at us on a Friday.
Yeah, look at us.
Time.
Well, Friday at 8.
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how it would be. So, well, life is life, and I don't know. I feel so blessed, and that gives me energy.
Yes,
I don't know.
and
so
you're
I
grateful.
Say,
so more comes to you.
Exactly. So what else can you ask life for? So anyway,
From that second client, then you think that it was a speed up.
I'm not sure if it's speed up because, like we're a small studio. We fight with big,
So it took a while.
With giants. And
I want to know
not fight, but
when all these awards started coming.
Well, nobody knew us. That's the thing. It came out of necessity of survival.
Okay.
It was survival.
So you needed to.
We needed because
showcase your work.
Yes. Each time, when ASID, which is the Association for Interior Design, or NKBA, I'm talking to people, to students. I'm so grateful to be able to, and that's another fear that I kind of conquered with time, the fear of speaking in public. But that's another story.
Yeah.
But I always tell my people, to learn to be grateful is one thing that you need to cultivate every single day of your life.
True.
Cultivate that because, I think it might be helpful to people.
Yes.
To the guys or the girls that begin and want to scale their business a bit. And it really does. At the time, nobody knew us. I didn't study here. Like my husband and I, we didn't went to school here. We didn't have our fraternity friends. We didn't have the father or friends that had companies or whatever that could refer to us, work. So I was thinking, okay, how can we get our name out there? How can we be known? Because our marketing budget was not good at all. It was zero, plus zero. and so it was not easy.
Start with
I saw a competition. No, now I remember. I had a really great, and I need to send a really big hug to Luis Torres from the wood. He's a craftsman for kitchens. I really owe to him like the the eagerness to compete. He was always working with us doing our jobs. And he was like, oh, man, you have kind of cool stuff. This could be good. I have this. I'm part of the NKBA, and you should submit. Let's submit your kitchen. This is awesome. And I never paid attention to him. And I don't know. Thanks to him, at one point, he insisted and he said, you know what? Well, okay, let's give it a try. Maybe this can help people know us a bit better. And we submitted and we won. We won the first competition. And oh, my God.
Where was this?
That's
in
a
Miami?
thrill. No, all our
Orlando?
competitions were out. In Washington, Ohio.
So it was like a nationwide.
It's a nationwide. Yeah, it's a
competition.
nationwide competition.
Wow.
So we were able to win at a national level between America and Canada. So we won the first place, and we could not believe it.
So that's a good message for the emerging firms to go out there and submit their work.
Yes, I tell that. Now I remember, I tell that to the students that I get to speak to when I'm invited to talks. Yes, that's the way for you. Why? You lose fear, you conquer your fears of judgment.
It's not a matter of ego. It's just
no,
because
we don't see
your
it that way.
Work is valuable.
We don't see it that way. It could be look at it that way.
It's like a marketing tool, like you said.
It is. It completely is. And when you don't have the marketing budget to be able to go to these big, magazines that publish your work.
Yeah.
The only way to do things
Is if you win it. If
you win. Otherwise, how else are you gonna, get your job out there or your work out there?
So great job.
Thank you. Yeah, and then you get hooked on it, and then it begins like it's another part of our work.
And then it becomes like an obsession. It
I
happened to me with
know.
running. I did my first
crazy,
race,
awesome.
then I want to do the next race, and I want
It's
to do
something that's a thrill, right? It's like a thrill.
Yeah, it's
And
exciting.
What I like to be, I don't know how can you say this nicely. I like to be judged. I don't know how to I don't know, or I don't care. You know what I mean? It's a yes and a no, because we know
like
what you
to
do.
be evaluated.
Exactly. We love to get it out there, to listen to what
Right,
people
you learn.
say, because you always learn. I always, when I go to competitions, I ask the favor from the organizers of the competition to send me the comments that
Good
the
or
judge
bad?
is good
You
or
wanna
bad.
know.
Bad the best.
Mhm.
To me, the bad are the ones that I always ask, because we're always learning something. So this to us is to keep us learning on top of the game of, not the game of competition, but the game of learning and how the market begins to behave,
improve.
how clients want things done, how the other parts of the country design, because the judges are not from your
Miami.
kind in Miami, Florida. No, they're national level or outside or international. So I love
That's
listen to the
fascinating. You
feedback.
have to show me all these
I
projects.
will,
Yes,
of course,
please.
for sure. I love it.
Because I like to learn as well. I'm always trying to learn something. So if you can share that insight with
I would
me,
love to, of course.
yes, please.
So yeah, we got the kind of the hook on it, and then because that let us be in different markets, let us allow us to grow infinitely.
You have to be out there.
There, lose the fear to speak in public. I dread it. The idea of speaking in public, of being doing this, I was like, I couldn't. And people, when my husband listened to me say so, it's like, wow. Nah, a ti te gusta hablar. You like to talk. And yeah, when you are in the comfort of your living room and with your friends, but in public, when you're going to be taped and stuff, it was not easy. I wouldn't like to do that. But that let me do that, because we won a competition for the ones to watch with the ASID, and they selected 8 girls, or 8 designers at the national level from every corner of the country, and they will give us like it was like a 2 years grant to learn leadership and to learn to speak in public.
That's great.
Diversity and inclusion came into it, which I loved, and they took us all over the country to be speaking on the conferences.
To the trade or other
To
trades?
the trade, to the American Society of Interior Designers.
Okay.
So at the scale conferences, at the they have 2 big conferences, the year one and the scale, and that was amazing. We will be talking to people I would never dream of talking to these people. So that kind of opened our mind.
But you had something inside of you that said, okay, I want to talk in public.
No.
Because
No,
I remember going to talks, conferences, and BizNow, all those. And I always say, I'm going to be there one day.
Really?
I always say.
Amazing.
But I didn't used to speak at all. And
Right?
in sales, they
Okay.
forced us to do
You had
clinics
to.
at some point. Those were terrifying. I would shake in the morning. I would pray on the way to the thing. And then I would have to come out and do like a sales clinic, like if I was selling all the products to a fake client. And I am so grateful of that exercise in my life, because I was so scared of this
Fear.
yeah, I was so scared. And my boss at the time, I was just scared of knowing what is he going to propose now. But I'm so grateful that he was in my life, in my path, and that
He
I
believed in
learned.
you.
Yeah, and that I learned
He
to
saw the
speak.
potential.
I learned to speak.
Amazing. Now I do. So each time someone says, "Oh, do you want?" and I'm just, "Yes." What time? I love it. I love to talk.
Yeah, I like
now,
it too.
to share experience, and like that help. I don't know. It's helping me to give back a little bit of the experience. Know others. People write to me in social media, and I never write me and say, "Oh my God, thank you for sharing this. You inspire." And I'm like, wow. So you never know.
You never know
who you could help with a little piece of encouragement.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give value to that, but people do that a lot. And if you can do that.
And you felt that you were helped along the way when you started your studio.
Of course.
You had the support of your ex-bosses.
See, I have like an army of people. That's what I say.
That's nice.
Our clients, they believe in us. The vendors, this trade, these people, Silco, Gianni, all these. He said, and you know what? The design profession and the architecture and design profession is one that depends of
Relationships?
Dozens of people, if not hundreds.
Yes.
One single small project depends. Let's say 1,000 square feet project. Minimum depends on 60 people to do their job well done.
I hadn't thought of it like that.
Yes.
It's
why?
true.
You have a beautiful idea. You have a beautiful concept. Oh my God, spectacular. The client loves it. You love it. And they say, go ahead. So you have, for that little project, 30 vendors.
That's true.
That grab the idea, that are able to work with you, that are able and willing to play on the complex orchestra of things to make things happen at this time that you need it on the budget that you were allowed to. That's amazing. A surgeon only needs his hands, his assistant, and the one that the person, the professionals, of course, and not diminishing anyone. But we depend on
everybody.
people.
Yeah, I always bring some Cheetos to the job site or something.
Yes.
Because I feel like if they care about me, they're gonna help me. And if there's a mistake or if they I don't know,
they are willing to go a little bit beyond. Why?
Yes.
Because it's like that. That's my mantra. That's my mojo every day of the week. Is like being thankful to this so many that they're. That their lives are going well, that they are open to give their best on the day, at the job site, at the office, because it's a snowball, architecture and design. It's a snowball of big decisions that can be wrong in the millimeter of second. So
in future projects, those people that you treated well, that you went out to eat and you took the time to talk to, they already understand your mind.
Oh, yes.
And they know, okay, Cindy's not going to like this. They know beforehand.
It's crazy.
So it's crazy. Yeah.
It's crazy how vulnerable, the design and the architecture and design field is. We depend on thousands of people to make beautiful buildings, to improve the built environment, and that's energy. That's a lot of things.
Energy, yeah.
So it's a lot. So yes, I have help. Yes, thousands. And I say in Spanish, yo le debo a cada santo una vela. That's how in Spanish, in Colombian, it's like we owe every saint a candle. We owe because it's so fragile. The idea, your concept, it could be the beauty of it, the picture.
Totally. We want them to be skillful enough to make sure that the book matches.
Yes.
It's in every aspect.
And that it's
true.
And the installer is in a good mood. And then it comes in time. And then the building allows you to enter.
That I need his good energy as well.
Oh, yeah.
I always do. And when they
start not the same, but
freaking about everything, I tell them, I need you to be relaxed because that attracts all the cows.
Trust the process.
Yes.
Once you begin working, you're the leader. You're the leader. They need to let you lead. Not easy, but experience is only the time and experience. And we were talking about experience and all that, but that's the only the skills.
So tell us
trade.
a little bit, how's the day at your firm nowadays? What you go there, you brainstorm with the team. How is the creative process? Tell us what's happening in these times, because we're came back from 2008 to 2024.
No, I'm thankful to have amazing people with me that have been with me, that I need to thank a lot of these people that have been with me. I want to take the opportunity to give them, they know who they are, teammates that no longer with Eolo, but the thanks to them they make it happen also. But now we have a kind of new blood, and some of them are new blood, and that I am also thankful to you. You know who you are. And but it's a very collaborative process. It's all at the office is about collaboration, because we're a boutique studio, so we wear a lot of hats all the time. I love people that as I think as me, like to go out of their comfort zone, go beyond a bit, be able to collaborate and brainstorm together.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's all the time a collaboration effort. We're all the time working in kind of a 3D.
You are in the office most of the time, in the job site most of the time, in the stores most of the time, a little bit of everything. We're all over
it's
the place.
An orchestra.
We have to take several shoes in the car.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, when it's raining, we need to bring the boots. We need to
everything, the collaboration. And, it's about this trade. It's community and collaboration. I don't know any other one that
it's super dynamic.
That I know. It is very dynamic.
I can't stay.
It depends on everything. It's so energetic.
Yeah. All right. So today, like I was saying, your team, it's at the office with you, or they are running at the job sites. You just want to
like that.
And your husband is collaborating with you as well.
Yes, he does collaboration a lot. We fight all the time. That's our collaboration.
That's normal.
That's his view. Because he sees every project from the construction side, and we see the projects from the what if, the next craziness we can do happens. So he's the perfect balance to our craziness.
Great. And have you seen an evolution with the technology, AI? Do you use artificial intelligence at all?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, we've been using artificial intelligence when we didn't know it was artificial intelligence. Well,
tell us that.
Well, CAD is artificial intelligence. It's a software that saves tons of times. I had to learn architecture by hand.
Yeah, me too.
Drafting by hand. And I had to learn to use a computer to produce the drawings.
Yeah.
That's artificial intelligence. We have to learn to work with it. It's as a tool.
It's
to
a
me,
tool.
AI is
we
an
need
amazing
to take advantage
tool.
of the technology.
Yes. We need to
take
advantage of it.
I use it a lot in contracts, in wording, because you can ask ChatGPT anything and you get a professional advice.
Yeah, you look a poet if you want.
Yes.
But if you want, as long as it has your essence, as long as it does have your essence, you're there.
Yes, you tweak it.
Your essence,
of
course.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of
it's
course.
It's a tool.
It's like, okay, this is what I want to write. This is how I want to convey my message. This is what I need to say. Help me improving, because we are second language speaking.
Yes, totally. And this is my first podcast in English with Sandra.
Good for
you. Decided to do it like that because all her clients speak English. So pardon
most of it. I have, from my Colombia as well, and Honduras.
Let me tell you,
places.
We were just talking about this piece. Tell me about it.
This piece. Well, I love it. It's from a really renowned architect, Eric Levy. I'm quite sure if it is, and if not, please cut it out. But I am quite sure it's from Eric Levy. It's a really renowned architect that used to work with Citco. And that piece played an important part on a design we did for an event of sporadic installation we did at Casa Core that came here to Miami, Casa Core, Miami, some years ago. And that's where I knew Citco, because I saw their pieces and I was like, oh my God, I needed someone to help me produce the how do we call it in
the
English?
Vignette?
The vignette. So it was the perfect piece that I needed. And they also have another piece that they were so kind to lend me. No, two more. One from Zaha Hadid, which I love.
Amazing.
And one mirror that's called the Iolo mirror. And I was like, wow, I saw the piece and I'm like, huh?
Is that the one with the
mirror
teal?
with the, it's
That
over
is half?
here, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
You're going to see it.
You're going to show me.
Oh my God, I saw that piece and I'm like, oh my God, I need that piece. That's how we got to meet Citco.
Incredible.
And from them, from that time, we're friends.
Great. And now we're surrounded with...
Oh my God, I've been to their factory in Genova. No, Genova. Sí, yeah, Genova. I think it's Genova, if not correctly.
No.
But
it's in
next
Italy.
to Milan.
It's in Italy. Yeah.
Next to Milan. So their craftsmanship, their artists,
Amazing.
It's art. You make it spectacular.
Yeah.
So that's how we got to meet Citco. So this piece played a big part in our.
I definitely can tell that you enjoy every single day of your career.
I do.
Of what you do. And you are helping students to be inspired by what you have accomplished. So thank you for doing that for all of us. If you want to give a message to those designers out there that would like to try it on their own or that are still in the process of learning on other people's umbrellas, which that is super valid as well. So anything that you would like to say so that we can finalize our conversation, but you have to come back because I feel like we have a lot more to talk about.
I would love to. Yes. No, I love it. Now that we got to connect so well.
We talked before about so many topics that we wanted to discuss, like technology, the YouTubers, the social media, what's happening right now. Yeah. So many things. We wanted to do like a conversation about a day in the job site with several people. So all of that we talked before we started. So we have a lot of work to do together.
I would love to.
Yes.
I feel amazing. Our energy together. I love it.
Yeah, I can. You like to talk, and you didn't like it before.
I didn't. Now I do a lot. So no, an advice. And advice is, well, first.
Well, you've given many advices through the show about letting go, about being grateful, and those are super valid. But if you want to say something else.
Something that starters always ask me, how to get known, go to competitions. Lose your fear of judgment. You don't care.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? You don't win the place. That's it. That helps you being confident about your own work, and that helps you a lot when you're going to talk to a client. You know what you know what you want, and believe it or not, you know your clients because we become psychologists, so So do that, and I always say the only obstacles to us are ourselves. We are our only enemy. If we are able to, go past us, you don't know the treasure that you would find. It's amazing.
And how far can you fly?
Yes, the only limit. And then I'm so thankful to this country. This country let me be who I am, who I love to be, who, let me do the things that I'm passionate about. So if you are here, this is the place to be yourself, to kill it out there, to be the best you can. Because this country lets you do that.
Don't be afraid of your own light.
Don't be afraid. Yeah. And if you're not here, the same. Why? Technology now lets you be everywhere. You can work from your own home. You can do conceptual designs and sell it everywhere. So the only limit is yourself. That's what I can say to the people.
Great. Thank you very much. And thank you all for watching. If you haven't downloaded your app, the Architectural Authority TV and Architectural Authority app, please do it. And see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to the Creative Talks podcast. Your 5-star reviews really help us continue what we do. Please rate your listening experience, and let's keep building this beautiful community together. For exclusive access to more design content, visit thearchitecturalauthority.com or download our app from the App Store or Google Play. Until next time, take care and keep creating.